season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Here we go, here we go. Hey, look here.
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The Falcons at 12-2 now on the year. And they're coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 36. Ritter on target to Pitts for a Falcon 1st down. First and 10, it's Patterson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Black Ultra. Striker, 3-3.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Koo knocks this one through the post, and the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Wait, set.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. And Charles, you think about this offense, it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The slot man in motion right. Walker now on 1st and 10. And some room to work. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And Walker once more. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Sugar!
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Now he'll throw with Brady. The open man is Westbrook. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 27-yard line. From the gun, it's Walker. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
sticking with Walker on second down.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
44 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent game and first down. Simply put, you've got to put more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy is nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Easy.
On play action, it's Brady. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send him back to the drawing board.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
On 3rd down, here's Walker.
And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. And his kick here is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
And they'll accept that penalty.
So what a turnaround there. A roughing call on the field goal try leads to 1st and goal. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
Ken Walker
with career touchdown number 60.
And the Seahawks have moved out in front.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
Ritter and the Falcons need an answer and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack.
They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Uses the stiff arm, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 1:52 to play until halftime. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
It's caught inside the 25.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
the middle. Here's Walker.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing is Brady on third down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone to potentially tie this game up. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Throwing now is Brady.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Play action. Now it's Brady. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaughan. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Sugar! Alpha! Fire!
Throwing on second and long. Brady forced out to his left. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down. Now here's Michael Dixon. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lock behind it. Wow. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And he's got room. And all the way down to the 37. 53 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 8 times. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10.
On first down, going back to Patterson. Down at the 35. It'll be second down.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Here's a 2nd and 7. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Tariq Woolen.
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
The passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and they will not cut into that 10-point lead. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the 2nd miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Jacket, reload! 450!
On 2nd and 11 now. Brady, there goes a deep ball, end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
They'll give it to Patterson.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready, break. Red, green. Red, cycle. Ready, ready.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Being chased out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Ritter and the Falcons need an answer, and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack.
They'll set up to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown.
Kyle Pitts,
35 yards.
And the Falcons are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
87 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Back to Walker on 1st down.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Check it. Grip. Shadow.
Brady to throw.
He completes this to Walker.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
A give for Walker running right.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Brady going to throw. And Walker has it. Shifts by him. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So that, not just important in the fact that it widens their lead, but really that was a textbook job of just hanging on to the football.
And we know all the time that coaches talk about time of possession. Sometimes it's a stat that doesn't matter much, but in this drive, it matters a lot. They want to reduce time and score points and lock this.
There he goes, left side. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. That kickoff return, 104 yards. And the Falcons have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
Coup for the extra point.
And the lead will shrink to 6. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. A gain of 3, 2nd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Slot man moves right.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up the key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Falcons force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. And my, how the tables have turned now. They were trying to salt this one away, but that interception, potentially a game changer.
And I just got to think to myself, at this point of the game, I know you've been aggressive. I know that's your MO, and that's fine. And all those teams that talk about all gas, no brakes, you better have the emergency lever to pull occasionally. They could have used it right there. They put themselves in a tough spot with that interception.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. They'll look to throw.
That's caught by Pitts.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here we go.
He's back to throw.
Able to find Patterson.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Back to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. So they're not home yet. Still a critical extra point here to break the tie. And they have got the lead.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively. Maybe these guys smelling the blood in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they probably are. But what they need to do right now is just make sure they don't force the action too much themselves. They've got them on the run a little bit. You just want to be in a position where if they make another mistake, you're there to capitalize on it and take it away from them.
They run again with Walker. Oh, but a great tackle there. Going to hold him to no gain as the clock runs. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Brady. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Now Brady. And he comes back with one complete. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
72.
One final try now for Brady.
On a huge mistake late, it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to hang on the